guys can hear me. If you can hear me, let me know. If you can see me or hear me, let me know so that I know you're there. If you can hear me, let me know. I'm gonna wait a few more minutes. See if you guys are here with me. Hi, Shannon, how are you? Thank you for all your help today. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here tonight. I'm gonna wait just a few minutes. Hi, Darren. How you doing tonight? Thank you for being here. I'm gonna wait just a couple minutes to see if more people come. Hi, Nancy. Thank you for being here. How's your weather in New York? I'm gonna wait one more minute and then I'm gonna apologize in advance because I have to turn the phone to face down, so it may jostle it a little bit. So I do apologize for that. Oh, I'm sorry, it's rainy and gray. Is it very cold where you are? Okay, so I think we're gonna go ahead and get started, and I'm going to show you a hi Penny, how are you? A sample of this is the card we're gonna be making today. But I will say that I made a little bit of a modification when I was prepping for today. So I'm gonna try to make 2 cards. It is my first live, but it's gonna be a go big or go home kind of situation for me today. So let me turn the camera and I'm gonna show you the products we're gonna use today. So I'm sorry I'm gonna jostle you a little bit, but let me turn this down so you guys can see the above head shot. Hope you guys can see this. Let me just tighten this up. This is okay, or does it need to be turned? Let's see, does it need to be turned the other way? I think it maybe needs to be turned the other way. Hold on one sec. Sorry, guys. There we go. Now it's upside down. Okay, so let's flip it one more time. Sorry. And this should be fine now. Okay, so the products we're going to use today are as follows. The Cozy Holiday Cutting Die, which is BRU 8385. This beautiful slimline spring Hugs and Kisses stencil, which is BRU 1927. And this really adorable Sprinkled with Love stamp set, which is BRU 0630. We're also going to be using some Chroma Mist in Shimmer Mist, the Pearl Shimmer Mist, and we're also that is BRU 3959, and we're also going to use the Chroma Mist in Pink, which is BRU 7377. I'm also going to use some embossing powder from Wooders Monroe, which is this gilded gold, beautiful gold embossing powder, which is BRU 2487, and this awesome glitter glaze in alabaster, which is BRU 6721. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create the background for the card, which is this pink part, using the Chroma Mist. And I know that a lot of people like to just spray the Chroma Mist directly onto their cardstock, but I didn't want that. I didn't do that because when you do that, the intensity of color is really high. As you can see, when you spray it directly on the card, it's super high. And I wanted a more, if you see my background, it's a little bit more subtle, the color. So the way I did it is I sprayed the chroma mist on a craft mat like I have here. And then I sprayed some of this beautiful shimmer mist. And when I use my shimmer mist, I like to roll it between my hands like this instead of shaking it, because that way I don't get a lot of air bubbles. So I roll it a little bit until I don't see a lot of the shimmery on the bottom, and then I just spray it directly on here. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spray a little bit of water, because that's going to dilute the intensity of the color for me, which is what I'm looking for. So I'm just going to spray some water, and then I'm going to take my piece of cardstock, excuse my hand, and I'm just going to directly put it onto the, and see how it's a lighter, much lighter color than if you use it directly spraying it on. You're just smushing it, right, Penny, you're just smushing it down. And then what I do in between the layers, I just dry it with my heat gun for a second or two. It doesn't have to be completely dry, just a little bit dry. And then you do it again until you get the layers of color that you want. And this way you get a lot more bang for your buck, because you're still using the same bottle of chroma mist, but you can get gradation of color by going lighter with your colors. I love chroma mist. Chroma mist is such a beautiful, beautiful product. And I'm going to show you guys a background that I made for when I do my next live. And I just love the way it came out. And all I used was chroma mist and a little bit of gilding flakes and some glitter. So you just dry it a little bit. Let me turn that off. And then you go back in, and then you see you're going to start getting all of that texture, because you're going to start to add the layers of color to your piece. You see? I'm going to hit it again with the glue gun just to dry it a little bit. And then you start seeing a lot of dimension. So I'm going to set this one aside because I already made one, and I'm not going to waste this color. I have another piece of, I thought I had another piece right here. I have another sheet of watercolor paper, which is what I like to use, because if I use regular paper, it tends to buckle. So I'm going to pick all of this beautiful color up, and I'm going to save it for another background. I'm not going to waste any of that, because that's just not going to happen here. So see, this is what you get. And you can use that for another background. You can add another color to it, and you have a ready-made background. So I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to clean up my mat and remove that. But you can see the difference. If you were to spray it directly, it looks like that's super intense, gorgeous color, but that's not the shade that I was looking for, something that was a little bit lighter, which is what I achieved by just adding a little bit of water and mixing it with the shimmer pearl shimmer, sorry. So let me set that aside. Yep, I agree. That's right, Penny. Let me clean that, and I'm gonna remove this. And so I already cut my card base right here. I've already cut my card base, and I've already cut my layers. And so I've already attached the glue on this, the tape on this side. So I'm just gonna remove this tape and start putting my card together. I added this card has 3 layers, a layer of gold, a layer of white, and then the layer of the shimmer mist paper. I have a little trick here that I like to do. I add a little bit of wet glue to this, because that way if I make a mistake, I have a tiny amount of time to go ahead and try to get this perfectly aligned. If I try to stick this on this paper, on this card base like this, I'm automatically gonna not stick it properly. And then I'm gonna have to start over again, which I don't want to be doing. So this gives you a little bit of wiggle room to get it right, which I did not. So let me just wiggle it a little bit. And there we go. Hi Donna, thank you for joining. I so appreciate it. It's a little bit off, but that's okay. Then I'm gonna add the layer of white on top of it. And then finally, we're going to add the layer of It's hard to get this aligned when you're not standing up like Shannon says. And then here is my layer of Chroma Mist, which I had done a little bit earlier, and it's completely dry now. So I can just go ahead and attach it to my card. I am new to Brutus Monroe, so this is a new product for me, but I really, really love how versatile it is and how pretty it is. And if you have the pearl shimmer, you can make all of your colors shimmery like this, which I really love because you get so much more mileage for from your product. So this is my card base. Then I already had cut a circle in gold and another circle in white. And what I did to this small circle is I scored every 1/8 of an inch to give it just a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to attach the gold circle first. Right here. And then I'm going to attach my white circle. And for this, I don't use glue because the pieces are so small that you can't really mess this up. At least I can't. I'm going to put it a little bit offset so that it gives it a little bit of interest. And then what I did is I took a piece of white cardstock and I added a little bit of the static powder to it. And I used, sorry for my hand, I used this beautiful slimline stencil and I'm going to emboss it. And the way I did that is I lined it up. I gave myself some space here because I'm going to tape it down so it doesn't move on me. So you take some tape and make sure that this is very, very stiff, so to speak, when you put it down. So in other words, you don't want it to buckle when you're doing this, because if it moves, it's as if you're stamping and it's gonna create a shadow. So you want this to be as tight as possible on your paper without damaging your stencil. So I just used this tape to just hold it in place for me because I'm gonna smush the image with Versamark ink so that I can then emboss it. Can you guys see it? So you just take your Versamark ink and you're just gonna smush it into the crevices of the stencil. And I like to do the whole panel because then that leaves me a piece that I can use for something else. Since I'm already doing this, I might as well just use the whole panel. And you're going to be able to see that it's very wet. You want that to be very wet. So then you're going to want to carefully remove the tape so you don't move the stencil. Sorry, don't want to drop that. Oh, I did exactly what I didn't want to do. Okay. I'm going to take a white piece of paper and I'm going to add my embossing. Why can't I see? Can you guys see? Can you guys see it, or am I off camera completely? Can you guys see what I'm doing? Okay. I'm going to add some embossing powder. And it's going to emboss. And then I'm going to emboss the image using my glue gun. My hot gun, I'm sorry. My heat gun. Put that back on there. Make sure you get the whole image. There we go. And so that's what it'll look like. It's a little bit messy on the side of the paper and it's a little bit of a waste of paper, but it's so minimal that, and what you get is you get such a gorgeous result from it that it doesn't bother me that I'm going to waste that little bit of paper. Let me clean this off so I don't get embossing powder on my mat when I heat it up. Excuse me, on my glass mat. Sorry guys for my hand. And then you take your embossing gun. Oh, sorry about that. And you're just gonna heat emboss it. Come on. There we go. There we go. So once you've already heat embossed this, it's going to look like, let me show you what it looks like, because you're not going to want to sit here and watch me do this. It's going to look like this. Like this piece right here that I've already cut down to size. And this is what we're going to use for the background of the second card we're going to make. So it's just a different way to use your stencils. You can also dry emboss the stencils, running it through your die cutting machine. And it's just a way to get more mileage out of your crafting supplies. So once I did this, I cut out 2 of the little mugs from the die that I showed you, the Christmas die set, and I put it together. And I also cut out and stamped, colored, and cut out 2 of the little heart cookies from the Sprinkled with Love stamp set. And the colors that I used for this were from the tri-blend markers that Brutus Monroe carries. And for this cookie, I used the pale pink shades and the tan blend. And then I just fussy cut it. So this is what we're going to use here on top of the card base that we created. I'm just going to peel it off the back of the glue. And we're just going to glue these down on the front of the card. Does anybody have any questions so far? Thank you. Thank you, Shannon. On the second mug, I added some foam tape because I want this one to be a little bit raised to give the card some dimension. And this is a change I made from the original card because on the original card, as you can see, I had done chocolate frosting on the card and I had added some little flowers on it. But I thought this new look brightened up the card a little bit more, which is why I did it this way. Here we go. And then the sentiment, I also used the Sprinkled with Love set, and the sentiment just says Sprinkled with Love, and I just put it here kitty corner on the side. And all I have to do is add some little gems, and we're gonna add some pizzazz to those little cookies. And I'm gonna use the alabaster glitter glaze for that. 2, 3, and 4. And so for the cookie, what I did is I just took the alabaster glitter glaze and I just used what's on the lid here because this product goes really far. I just took this little tiny dauber and I pick some up and I just dab it on to the top of the frosting to make it look shimmery, just to add a little bit of shimmer to it. And you're not adding big globs, you're just adding little bits just to give it, you know, a little tiny bit of pizzazz to your card, and that's it. You can do it on the frosting also if you want, just to make it look, you know, shimmery. I didn't because I used a paper that already is shimmery for the frosting, but you can absolutely do that if you want to. Oh, let me move it over. There we go. This is completely like off, you guys. There we go. There we go. Just make this a little bit tighter so it doesn't fall forward. There we go. Is that better? So this is this card we made today, and this is the card I had originally made. The difference being that in this one I colored the cookies in pink, and this one I had colored the frosting in chocolate, but I think I like the one we made today better. I don't know what you guys think, but I like this one better than this one. It's just brighter. For me, it just looks a lot brighter. Okay, the second card we're going to make is going to be using the same products, but for this one, we're going to use the slimline stencil that I embossed earlier. The piece that was left over, we're going to use it to make the second card. So for this one, I'm using craft card, red satin shimmer card, the embossed piece, and we're going to use red mugs for this one. So let's put it together. Since we already have all the pieces, you can just put it together pretty quickly. I'm going to add a little bit of glue here because I don't want to put this wonky. Do you guys like working with stencils or not so much? Good night. Thank you, Jessica, for being here. I appreciate it. Okay, then I like stencils too, Donna. Do you guys like trying new techniques? I love techniques. I'm like a super technique geek. I love trying new techniques with products and trying to kind of push the limits and see what I can do that's outside of the box with the products. So we're just gonna put the circle now on top of this one. And then I'm gonna need the white circle. Again, we're going to put it a little bit offset to give it some. And for this one, I cut the mugs out in red, which I really, really like since it's for Valentine. This could be like a really pretty Valentine's Day card. Candy, you know you're going to buy those stencils. Don't even lie to yourself. And then we're going to put the little heart on this one. And for these, I colored the icing on the hearts in red. Candy's in total denial. We all know she's going to buy those things in her bin. And then here's the other red mug. And the other heart. For this card, I used the same sentiments if I didn't lose it somewhere in this mess that I just created on my desk. But it is the same sentiment, which will go, I think, straight on this one. There's the other heart. It's right here. I've already added some foam tape to this one. And this one we're going to set just straight here. So these are the two cards, the pink one and the red. Which do you guys like best? That's the red. And that's the pink. Which do you guys think? Yeah, I really love those cups because you can use them for any really, you can use them for any occasion. You can fill them with a bouquet of flowers and do like a Mother's Day card. You can use them like this for Valentine's Day. They're not necessarily just for Christmas. You can make them for St. Patrick's Day, make it like a beer mug. I love the red too. I agree with you, Donna. I really like the red. I like the pink, but I think this one is just stands out more with that, with the gold in the background and the red. So I really, like I said, I love to find ways to use my dyes and my products outside of what their intended purpose is. And when I saw these mugs, I was like, these are perfect for like since the coffee trend is so everywhere now, I thought these were great for Valentine's Day. But let me just add a little bit of this alabaster glitter glaze to these hearts, just to give them a little bit of oomph. And that's it. Does anybody have any questions? Thank you. I want to show you guys a background I created today that I'm going to use for my next live. And this is just an example of how to use these products in a different way. I made this on a piece of acetate, and the colors that I used are the turquoise, the lilac purple, and the tinsel blue. And it is absolutely beautiful. That combination of colors is just absolutely gorgeous. Look at this. Look at how sparkly it is. So this is on a piece of acetate, and I added some glitter on there, and I added pieces of what are these called? These silver pieces are gilding flakes. So you can make this in any combination of colors you want, but effect is just beautiful. You can die cut this, you can use it as a card background, you can just use it for anything, and it is so pretty. The shimmer on it is just gorgeous. And it has so much texture, but it's flat on your surface, which is what I really love about it. So next time I do a live, I'm going to show you guys how to make this. It's super easy, but it really packs a punch. Wouldn't this look beautiful in different shades of red for Valentine's Day? Pinks and reds. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions? I know I went a little fast today. This is my first live, so I think maybe I over prepared a little bit because I know I was supposed to be here for an hour, and it's only 30 minutes in. So I do apologize for that. But does anybody have any questions? Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Candy. Sure. I can bring the cards close to the camera. Hold on one sec. Which ones? Both of them? Here's one. Here's the red. Oh, hold on. Let me just get in the camera because I'm just all over the place here. I'm not sure where the camera is here. Hold on. I'm going the wrong way. There we go. Is that okay? There's one card. And here is the pink. Here's the pink. Anybody else have any other questions or requests? You're welcome, Candy. Thank you. Not really sure how to end this, but I will have to turn the phone, I think. I love these mugs. They're beautiful. They really are beautiful. And they're just the perfect size for the A2 cards. I'm going to turn the camera so I can see the phone, guys. I'm sorry, because I don't know how to turn this. I don't know how to turn it off. Hold on one second. Sorry. There you are. Hold on, guys. Let me see if I can end the... I don't know how to end the live. Where is the button for this thing? There we go. Sorry about that. There we go. You guys are seeing my messy craft from behind me is all, you can see right there are all of my Bruce Monroe magic bottles, as I call them, the Chroma Mists, the Aqua pigments, some Jazzo. There's all the paper. You maybe see the first close up better here. There you go. There's one. And there's the other one. You can probably see it better there. Thank you, ladies, for coming. I really do appreciate it. I'm not really sure how to end the live. If anybody can direct me, I would really appreciate it. Does anybody know how to stop the recording? Mute microphone, cancel, save highlight. Is there an end button? No end button. There's a cancel button, a mute microphone, and a share. Please press hold to select a playlist. No end button. Nope, no end button. There's just an X button up on top, the right hand corner. An X at the right hand corner. Maybe press the X. Thank you so much, ladies. I really, truly appreciate from the bottom of my heart you being here to support me during my first live. I am relieved that it's done. I'm really excited that it's done. And I look forward to doing more lives for you guys and making more beautiful projects with all these amazing products from Bruce Monroe. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening and a beautiful rest of your weekend. Bye.